Good day, Miss. I am Via Isabel Wagas, and I'm going to discuss about the history of food and plating design during 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, and 2000. So in the 1700s, the wealthy classes in both Asia and Western Europe, chefs who prepared and served beautiful dishes in the court of Louis XIV, multi-tiered tables are arranged with extravagant structures made of carefully decorated and luxurious food. It means to say that in the court of Louis XIV, two wealthy classes, both Asia and Western, chefs prepared and served beautiful dishes. The Victorian age arrests the UK and much of the Europe in formality while residents of the US live a lifestyle more in line with cowboys and pioneers. Cookery books become popular, as do kitchen gadgets produced in factories en masse. Home cooks have access to items such as peelers, graters, and mincers, changing the appearance and texture of the home-cooked meals for the foreseeable future. So, during this era, cookery books are being introduced to the public, as well as the kitchen gadgets that produced in the factories, such as peelers, graters, and mincers. This would change the appearance and texture of the home-cooked meals, and it is very useful for the kitchen. During the year of 1835, the practice of using a huge centerpiece of plate and flowers is published by Thomas Walker in his weekly newspaper called The Original. It means to say that points out that the tables needs to be excessive breadth that keeps the table guests hidden from one another. So in the year of 1900s, the advancement in nutrition, preservation, and industry characterized foodways in the early 1900s. In America, the influx of immigrants brings a variety of cuisines to the more populated areas and cities. So in my own understanding, during the year of 1900s is the beginning of food preservation because so we all know at that time in 1900s technologies are not being introduced to the public, so the people in that time think of think think of ways that they know food are being preserved to preserve their food, as they know that most of the technologies are not being published in the public like refrigerators, so they find a way to preserve their food. That's why most of them uses food containers and bottles to preserve their foods. During the year of 1903, Escoffier published the foundation of modern French cooking called Le Guide Culinaire. According to St. Paul Pioneer Press, the cocktail party makes a societal debut if a woman guest who had been driving all forenoon in her limousine and was a little chilled in consequence, felt the need of a drink with an extra kick in it. During the year of 1920s, the last vintage of fine dining in United States closes and thousands of hotels and restaurants are being destroyed, while casual tea rooms, dinners, and cafeterias rise in their wake. During the year of 1930, cocktail parties regained popularity. However, in 1930s to 1940s, creates a Great Depression, war, and rationing temporarily put an end to fine meals and the art of appreciation. Even though they afford to dine, but they need to hide in order to be safe. So during the year of 1938, a book was published entitled Larousse Gastronomique. This encyclopedic book provides insight into culinary terminology, historical important shifts, and kitchen equipments. During the year of 1946, a love of exotic foods and beverages and wars are being mainstreamed, while housewives work to make those foods their own by making sheep fingers, sandwich, and party snacks. 1950s, as prosperity grows in the US and overseas, traditional French dining again takes hold and the a la carte menu returns to fine dining. At home, Americans begin their love affair with grilling and eating outdoors. Vegetables and starches are served separately, food is carried to the dining room on silver trays, and chef regarded straying from the recipes outlined in Escoffer's cookbooks as cottages. During the year of 1960s is the first real shift in standard food presentation in the 20th century happens here. Vegetables and starches are served on the same plate on the main course. The clock is used as a guide for plating, while proteins being placed at 6 a.m., while starch, vegetables, and the required garnish are placed respectively at 9 a.m., noon, and 3 p.m. 1968 to 1972 is the time period that can be considered the birth of modern cuisine, because young chefs begin expressing themselves creatively in plating styles. During 1975 to 1985, decorative garnishing becomes extremely trendy, and dishes are dressed with roses made from tomatoes, skins, and other such embellishments. Also, strange food combinations are tried and sometimes accepted. In 1985 to 1990, plates become extremely large, perhaps to offset the return to normal size portions. In the year of 1990 to 1995 is the popularity of food TV. That means that dinners and chefs alike become aware of new ideas and concepts at accelerated speed. One of the TV first celebrity chefs introduces and popularizes the idea of sprinkling herbs, dry seasonings, powdered sugar, or cocoa powder on the rim of every plate. In the year of 1995 to 2000 is the sprinkling of food and plate rims transitions to the heavy use of squirt bottles and drizzling of sauces both on the plate and over the food. It is done in the right way. Plating tools today but plates wooden with zigzags of sauce and heavenly powdered eventually lose their appeal. Tapas and the concept of consuming many small dishes versus a large single-course meal become a commonplace.